All right, so let's go jump into 1.4. First of all, let's look at the weekly outline. So I posted the pre-algebra weekly outline for 9/21 to 9/24. It says today we're going to do the 1.4 and then we're going to do the review. And then on Wednesday, we will do quiz and then 1.5, okay? I am currently iffy. I'm probably just going to do a little bit of review and then just go for the quiz and move 1.5 into next week. So let's go ahead and change that. So 1.5, we will do the week after that. So on 9/23, we will only do just a little review and then the quiz, okay? Okay, so 1.4, let's look at 1.4. 1.4, we have comparing and ordering integers, So this is basically kind of this stacking up the orders of the integers, okay? So if I asked you to go from, okay, let's go look at page 22. In page 22, there is a supercooling insects. So it says that water usually freezes at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius, but some animals can resist freezing by producing a chemical that lowers the temperature. Okay, so this it lists the temperatures at which their bodies start to freeze. Okay, so you have -54, -35, -9, -19, -70. So if I were to order these or stack these up on a number line, I would draw the number line as such, right? And then let's look at the goldenrod galfly. Goldenrod galfly is -9, so on the 0, so if this is the plus side, this is the negative side, okay? It's going to be on this side, because it's negative, right? Negative right here, and this would be -9, okay? So -19, which is the snow flea, is going to be even further negative, or this side of -9, right? So we're going to go over here and go -19, okay? What's the next one? The next one would be -35, right? The next one would be -35. And the next one would be -54. -54, and I'm going to assume that -70 is somewhere around here. Okay, as you can see, if I go start from 0, when we do positives, the numbers are going to get larger and larger, like 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 100, and we go over this way, right? We go positive, we go that way. We go negative, we go -9, -19, -35. In other words, in the negative direction, when the numbers itself gets larger, you get further negative. So you're further left-hand side of this. So in other words, if I look at -70 versus -19, which one is a larger number? This guy is the larger number, right? So if I put in an inequality, it would look like that. Okay? So this is how you would order or compare and order the integers, right? So we'll go from here that way. Okay? So that was example 1. Let's move on to example number 2. On the top of page 23, we have a new thing called the absolute value. Absolute value. Okay, if you read the definition of the absolute value, it says that the absolute value is the absolute value of a number is its distance from 0 on the number line. It's a distance from 0 on the number line. So again, if I had a number line that looks like this is 0, and this is -10, my absolute value, or the distance from here to here, is 10. Right? By definition, a distance has to be greater than 0. Okay? So my distance here, the absolute value, is going to be 10. So in other words, the way that we write this is that this is negative 10. The absolute value is notated with two lines like this. The absolute value, the distance from 0, is going to be 10. Okay, so that's how you write the absolute value. What about if I had 10? What is the absolute value of just straight 10? 10 would be from here to here, right? So this here would be 10, right? So again, the distance from here to here is going to be 10. So the absolute value of negative 10 is the same as the absolute value of 10. Okay? So basically what's happening when you run the absolute value is that you take away the sign that's in front of it, right? Because if I was, what happens if I was negative 25 here? What do I have from here to here? Negative 25. So the distance between here and here is going to be 25, right? So the absolute value of negative 25 is going to be equal to 25 because it's the distance from here to 0. I took away the negative. Now all I just have left is 25. Okay. So example number 2, state the absolute value of the number. State the absolute value of the number. So let's do example number 2. The first one is the absolute value of 5. So it's nothing more than just 5, right? From 0 to 5, the distance between 0 and 5 is 5. Okay. The next one is negative 7, the absolute value of negative 7. So from negative 7 to here, the distance is going to be 7. 7, right? Again, I just got rid of the negative. All I've left is the 7. That's what the absolute value, that's how the absolute value works. Okay. Opposites. Two numbers are opposites if they have the same absolute value but different signs. So in other words, if you have the same, we just said right here that negative 10 and 10, the absolute value of both of these are going to be 10. Okay, so these are the opposites. So negative 10 and 10 are opposites, right? Because they have the same, absolute value, right? Okay. So, example number 3, state the opposite of the number. So the opposite of 6, right? Example number 3. So for example number 3a, the opposite of 6 is going to be what? It's going to be, the opposite is going to be negative 6, right? Because they both have the same absolute value. The absolute value for both of these are going to be 6. In other words, if I wrote this mathematically, I would say the absolute value of 6 is the same as the absolute value of negative 6, and they're all 6. Okay. B, the opposite of negative 15 is going to be 15, right? Because again, the absolute value of negative 15 is the same as the absolute value of 15. They are all 15, so it is the opposite. Okay. Example number 4. Evaluate the expression when y is equal to negative 5. So let's go ahead and see if we can do this. Okay.
What page are we on? I accidentally closed my book.
Example number 4, we are on page
23.
24 now. We are on page 24.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Number 4, evaluate the expression when y is equal to -5. So we are given that y is equal to -5. Let's see if we can evaluate negative y. So negative y is going to be equal to, so where y is, I'm going to put the -5 in. Negative 5. So if I have negative -5, I have a negative and negative, right? So this becomes what? Anybody? If I have two negatives, they become positive, right? So now this is the same as 5. Okay, so if I have two negatives like this, it becomes positive. B, 17 minus the absolute value of y. So where y is, I'm going to put -5. So I'm going to get 17 minus -5 as such. And the absolute value of -5 is 5. So this becomes 17 minus 5, which is 12. Right? Okay. All right. So we're done. We're good with 1.4. Are there any questions on what we talked about so far? All right, if not, I want you guys to start working on your homework of 1.4. Your 1.4 homework is here. Your homework for this section is 18 through 24. This is all of them, right? Because there's nothing on there even or anything like that. And then 43 through 50. Okay, and this will be due by Thursday. Okay, so let's start working on that.